Welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight, commercial free on this Monday night. Most Americans paying attention are very worried about the state of the world tonight. An incompetent White House is flirting with a massive war involving nuclear powers. China has moved 6 warships to the Middle East as Israel continues to trade blows with militant proxies of Iran, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Despite what the Obama-Biden foreign policy goons have told you while pushing a nuclear deal, Iran is our enemy. And thanks to Obama-Biden, they'll have a nuclear program any day now. But as we widen out from this moment and take a look at things ideologically, you should know something. It is that our own leaders, from the White House on down, the ones right now who are standing in full defiance of Hamas and giving their unwavering support for Israel, well, these people are trying to tamp down an ideological chaos that they've been stirring up for quite a while now, for years. While Biden was pumping billions into Iran, emboldening an American enemy, he's also been sitting here in the U.S. injecting anti-Western toxic ideals into the American bloodstream. And now you can see evidence of that all over the place. Here's what Brooklyn, New York looked like over this past weekend. Pretty familiar scene we're starting to see here all over our country. The latest manifestation of the Antifa Black Lives Matter crowd is this now. This is the American far left, the protesting, militant, anti-West, anti-American far left. Thousands of Americans protesting in support of Hamas and the Palestinian attacks on Israel. There's pictures of it here, some still photos. You can see the scale of this. That's in Brooklyn. These are everywhere, proudly cheering on the murder and the mutilation of innocent people, the rape of women and children. Look at that. Right now, millions of Americans are waking up to the reality that we are surrounded by radicals who don't just hate Israel, they hate us. They hate the country that we all live in together. These are the same people we've seen protesting for years now. They hate the prosperous West, and these people are all around us, and we shouldn't be surprised, because for the past several years, politicians like Joe Biden have captured this horribly dangerous energy and dumped fuel all over it in an attempt to win elections. It looks very familiar, doesn't it? Careless political animals who loved that energy when it was controllable and they could use it to beat Trump in 2020. But now they have a problem. This thing has metastasized way out of control into a worldwide threat. Take a listen to the leader of Hamas equating George Floyd to the Palestinian people.
And I want to take this opportunity to remember the racist murder of George Floyd. George Floyd was killed as a result of a racist ideology held by some people. The same type of racism that killed George Floyd is being used by Israel against the Palestinians.
You follow it now? It's not the first time we've seen this. The politically charged death of George Floyd, whose initial autopsy showed he likely died of a drug overdose, has been used by nations all over the world, including China, to damage our international reputation. The Chinese have been funding Black Lives Matter for years. You know why. They're fully aware how toxic those kinds of ideals are for our culture, for our country. And it has been working all around the world and here at home. And it's worked the best on young people who Democrat operatives have targeted and radicalized to keep them in power as they sell an increasingly atrocious left-wing platform. A new Harvard-Harris poll asked, in general, do you side more with Israel or Hamas? Not the Palestinians, but the Harvard-Harris poll asked Israel or Hamas, the terror group. 48%, we should put it back up, of 18 to 24-year-olds sided with an actual terrorist group over the people of Israel. Again, that's Hamas, not the Palestinian people. These are college students and recent graduates inside of your country. When asked if Hamas brutally murdering and raping and beheading 1,200 Israelis, including women and children, if that's justified by Palestinian grievances, 51% of 18 to 24-year-olds said yes. You should be able to walk into a family's home and chop their child's head off because you've been condemned to live in beachfront property because you can't stop bombing another country. Are you terrified for the future of the country yet when you see numbers like that? 18 to 24-year-old, more than half say what Hamas did 2 weeks ago was justified. And we arrived here when our mainstream political and media class granted their legitimacy and credibility to the radical destructive left. Listen to all the lies that Joe Biden himself has spewed from his corrupt mouth in the past few years, a man who's been willing to do or say anything to poison our culture as much as possible in order to get into the White House.
Why in this nation do too many Black Americans wake up knowing that they could lose their life in the course of just living their life?
The most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
Just a small little snippet of what we've heard from this equity-obsessed, ridiculous administration that has spun all of this chaos, and now it's landed at the doorstep of Israel. And now they're trying to pull it way back. Oh, wait, no. We don't really hate capitalism in the West. No, yeah, we don't want to ruin the whole world here. We just wanted to win an election. Let's not take this too far. Lie after lie, creating so much Western self-loathing, giving away the Western capitalist moral high ground that we own, doing the bidding of nations around the world that hate us just for short-term political gain. We've seen that all over this country. Did he really think it would just stop at African Americans and the police? Because it didn't. Now Hamas are George Floyd. The Israeli military are the police. The same binary Marxist tactic returns. They won't stop until the world is anarchy. That's what these people want. That's the only system they see without suppression in the minds of the radical left. Marxists now believe they own the moral high ground in our society because our politicians told them they did for the last few years, because they wanted to win. And they needed that energy because nobody cared about Joe Biden. And these people have firmly tied themselves to a terror group and are proudly announcing their support for the destruction of the only freedom-enjoying democracy in the most backwards, dangerous, hate-filled region on the planet. And these people are all around us in this country, and they're marching by the thousands through our cities.